Bitcoin has just fallen under a $385 billion market cap. And a lot of this comes off the back of the news from Powell's hawkish remarks. So the Federal Reserve Chair said households and businesses should prepare for pain as the central bank works to bring down inflation. Bitcoin dropped almost 5% in value in the 2 hours following the Federal Reserve long-awaited keynote address at the Fed Jackson Hole in Wyoming. During that economic conference, equity markets also slid alongside with crypto, with the S&P 500 index down more than 2%. We are now at the lowest price Bitcoin has been for quite some time now, after 5, 6, 7 weeks of continuous upward momentum. The stock market had not priced in this except the last couple of days, and it's because the risk was that they would be hawkish, not the belief, which was from Bob Licino, the chief strategist at Path Trading Partners. And we looked at that previously in a video. We saw the market futures for the two different rate point increases, either 0.5 or 0.75%, was leaning heavily towards 0.5%. Now, unfortunately, off the back of what the Fed chair has mentioned during that economic conference, it's obviously looking likely that we may see another 75 basis point increase to help them achieve that target of roughly 3.5% to 4% by the close of this macroeconomic cycle that they are looking to put towards obviously fighting inflation. The market is now pricing in at least as much as it believes the Fed, but it's about Powell's legacy and his credibility at this point. Licino further noted that markets had rallied ahead of the speech, perhaps anticipating more dovish remarks, thus likely exacerbating today's decline. So obviously it's a mismatch between the expectation of the markets and the words from Powell himself. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below trend growth, while higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labour market conditions will bring down inflation. They will also bring some pain to households and businesses. And of course, this comes off the back of that those statistics we saw in July in the inflation rate, looking like it had potentially peaked in June. It peaked in July. We got those figures sometime in August. Obviously, we'll get August's figures sometime in September, and hopefully that trend is continuing, that we're seeing inflation ramp down. This will help to inform the policy decisions that the Fed are making and potentially take their foot off the brake effectively on the economy. However, this is still creating a risk-off attitude. Nothing gets hit harder in a risk-off environment than cryptocurrencies and equities alike. 70.63 billion was wiped out from the global cryptocurrency market cap over that 24-hour period. And we can see the reply there, a bad day in the stock market as well. It was one of the biggest falls in the stock market we'd seen for quite some time. $1.25 trillion wiped out off the back of that. Unfortunately now as well, cryptocurrency is back below a $1 trillion overall market cap for the entire cryptocurrency market, way off the peaks we saw during the previous Bitcoin all-time high, which was roughly $2.8 trillion. So over $1.8 trillion, nearly $2 trillion has been wiped out of the cryptocurrency market since the middle of November 2021. So we are a far cry at the moment from those all-time highs we'd seen previously. However, as we said before, there may be more room for the cryptocurrency to fall further. Projects like Bitcoin and Ethereum are obviously taking a bit of a hit, and so are the majority of those altcoins. However, obviously, Bitcoin follows those 3 to 4 yearly cycles before we see the next kind of peak. We may not have seen the bottom yet during this cycle, but it is a great opportunity to average into those positions if you are in this for the long term. If you're not in it for the long term, then you may experience some more serious amounts of pain. Obviously, making sure as well that you're not over leveraged on those positions. I personally am still buying into those altcoins we talk about a lot on this channel, things like Hbar, some of the projects built on top of Hedera as well, things like the Source token, Quant and Chainlink, those interoperability tokens, as well as some other projects as well across the space, buying a little bit of Ethereum here and there ahead of that September merge, because we could see another little spike during that. As mentioned previously, there's a video I've got on the channel showing 5 or 6 different ways you guys can benefit from that Ethereum merge taking place in September. Those are still very real ways if you are willing to take the risk. Of course, you need to make sure you're doing your own research. Now, of course, majority of this is obviously being driven by those macroeconomic policies across the globe. Potential for global recession taking place right now. But Bitcoin as well is not naturally going down. It never does, and it never will. It's obviously being pushed down by whales and institutions that are effectively placing spoof sell orders on exchanges to make sort of retail traders and risk managers sell to buy back lower, they are stealing bags and will make you buy back at a higher price. And you can verify this by checking any of the order books on the main exchanges. You see this quite a lot, people trying to front run trades or placing trades at very specific points in order to liquidate leverage positions to then buy back. Whether or not we'll see Bitcoin hit the 10K mark, which a lot of people have been screaming bloody murder for, I don't think we'll go that low. However, we could realistically fall below the $20,000 level again, and then we'll be looking for the next resistance point at the $16,000 to $17,000 range, potentially somewhere around $18,000 as well. However, again, my sentiment does not change on cryptocurrencies. I'm not liquidating all of my positions. I am just averaging into them slowly over time to build those positions for when the next bull run does come, we can take some healthy profits and take advantage of what we've effectively, the positions we've built. Anyway, that's enough of this sort of market overview. Let's take a quick look at Hedera. Some really interesting stuff had been happening over on the testnet recently. Here we can see a printout from Hedera transactions, obviously powered by Dragon Glass, with the testnet humming along at 8,240 transactions per second. This is obviously a massive figure and not one that I've actually seen personally that high over on the testnet, getting very close to that 10,000 transactions per second before a step function is effectively required. What we can see here as well is that there was roughly 3.3 million transactions that were completed on that day. In comparison, the whole month of August has only seen 6 million transactions, including what was processed. There were also 12,000 new accounts made. The best guesses here are that it could potentially be @𝗏.io or the Coupon Bureau. @𝗏.io has suggested that they will be live within days of this video, and today is exactly 1 month since the video was posted. So fingers crossed, something is ramping up. Someone says down here as well, it could also be something to do with the Bank of Ghana. Obviously, that use case of the CBDC with MTech, something massive has been tested on the testnet. Going over to Dragon Glass on the testnet sort of node, we can see that over 3 million transactions were processed in that time frame. Really short time frame, 2,400% larger than what we'd seen previously. Huge amount of transactions, and this could be one of those very large use cases that are ramping up to actually fully deploy on the mainnet. Really bullish news regardless. Wanted to cover this article as well. So back in April of 2022, obviously Coinbase said that some assets on other networks were part of their roadmap, Hedera and Near Protocol being a part of those. And then a recent tweet showing that they've updated this article on the 26th of August. So yesterday, assets added to the roadmap today, Hedera, Hbar. So yes, it is confirmed here. Coinbase, finally, that illustrious Coinbase listing will be happening at some point. It is now firmly on their roadmap to list tokens Hedera or Hbar, and obviously Near Protocol being on there as well as some others. But this is incredibly bullish news for Hedera indeed. There'll be many sort of retail novice traders that will be looking to buy Hbar that only have a Coinbase account because it is so easy to use, and because Hbar is not listed on the exchange, they get put off trying to buy the asset themselves. They don't want to go and create a Binance account or a MXC or KuCoin exchange account. They just want to use Coinbase because of how easy it is. Obviously, you pay a premium for it, but it's very simple. This is great for adoption again of Hbar, and we could see some very nice or some further retail demand pumping up the price of those tokens as this goes live. This obviously helps as well on a global scale. Coinbase has one of the largest user bases, sort of paralleling what Binance has at the moment. So obviously great. We see ZUSE there doing as well the classic research from UCL Institute graph showing that the watt-hour per transaction of Hedera is one of the lowest. And we can see the Hello Coinbase infographic is trending again, which is absolutely brilliant to see. Some really big news there for Hedera Hashgraph. HASHPACK wallet as well has been updated to 3.2.4. More token icon additions while we work on the mobile app. Hedera token economy is really growing fast. So they've added the Lucky token, which I'll be covering in a second, updated the Lil and Gold Crab icons, added Squid tokens, and added the Musa token. Of course, all of those are available on the SAUCERSWAP exchange if you guys want to pick some of those up for some other particular tokens. Now, I wondered what the lucky token was. It's the first that I've actually heard about this. And this was a tweet from Hbar Vox. Obviously, that was something I covered in a previous video, the sort of decentralized voice of the community where you can send a memo across to a particular address, and then the Hbar Vox bot automatically will tweet out that based on the ranking of the number of Hbar that have been sent to prioritize those tweets. But what we can see here is this tweet that was sent out. Tweet number 285, a slot machine is coming to Hedera and it operates on $lucky at lucky_HTS. So it looks like we've got some kind of casino type games or slot machines coming across to Hedera. Obviously, this is somewhat similar to what we've seen before with Creamies and their creamies.space site, where you can claim some Cream tokens if you hold those NFTs, and then you can use those Cream tokens in their coin flip and dice roll games to potentially earn some more Cream tokens. And then, of course, those Cream tokens can be used on exchanges like SAUCERSWAP to exchange for some of your other favorite tokens. And I'm sure there are plenty of other use cases if you read the white paper. However, looking at this lucky token information, of course, it was recently just added to the list of signed token IDs on HASHPACK itself. The lucky token information, 7,770,777 tokens are the total supply. All keys have apparently been burnt, and you can receive a free airdrop on token association if you do so. So you can see the token ID is 0.01109951. It's of course a registered token in HASHPACK, so you should be able to scroll down and find it in the list when you click on associate token. And then I'm presuming that they will be building a platform for these games to run on where you'll be able to use these tokens. I believe the token airdrop as well is 777 tokens you will receive from the airdrop. It looks like they're doing that on a daily basis. Well worth doing in a separate account if you don't feel it's safe or whatever it may be. Of course, make sure you do your own research. Something else I've just come across as well, GENFINITY.io is thrilled to announce our sponsorship from Hedera commencing from the 1st of October. An important step in our mission to empower, educate, and provide a trusted hub for our community. And you've got the Lighthouse Report being sponsored by Hedera. Taking a look at what this actually is then, commencing on October 1st, the Lighthouse Report will feature Hedera's comprehensive ecosystem and deep dive into key community and enterprise initiatives. GENFINITY is thrilled to add value to our community with this sponsorship. The partnership is an important step in our mission to empower and provide a trusted hub for communities to socialize, become informed, and successfully participate in the ever-evolving digital economy. So they appear to be some kind of like news outlet for Web 3.0 information. And it's great to see that they've got a partnership now with Hedera, or a sort of a sponsorship, I should say, for this Lighthouse Report. We should hopefully see some interesting news coming off the back of that, which would be great. We can also see as well a quick roundup for Hedera recently. ZUSE saying seeing the Hbar trending seems to be a part of his daily routine. Obviously, we had the ANZ-AU, the second largest bank in Australia, securing their ASDC stablecoin on Hedera. I featured that in yesterday or a couple of days ago's video, the last video uploaded to the channel. I urge you guys to check that out as it gives into a lot of detail about what's happening over there. We can see that Coinbase have put Hedera Hbar in their roadmap, and I will be going ahead with listing it on the exchange when the time arrives. And we've also got Ledger Live Mobile, Hbar now becoming a thing. So some great news across the board there for Hbar indeed. We can also see that 40 million Hbar has now been transacted via ZUSE marketplace. So the NFT sort of space on Hedera is continuing to grow. And of course, alongside that, platforms like SAUCERSWAP have been doing very well indeed. In fact, if we go over to the SAUCERSWAP website, they've added some new metrics to the front page just beneath this Get Source button. So obviously we can see the total value locked is still just shy of $14 million. Market cap just shy of $7 million, but the trading volume, so SAUCERSWAP just over a couple of weeks it's been live, however long it's been. Trade volume is over $23 million has already been processed via the smart contracts on SAUCERSWAP on Hedera Hashgraph. And of course, finality of those transactions being in literally a couple of seconds. The circulating source obviously increased slightly, and the number of trades that has taken place at 75,303 trades in total across SAUCERSWAP for those different users. And of course, we expect these numbers to continue growing into the future as adoption of Hedera continues to scale and ramp up. Anyway, that kind of wraps up this video. I'll be keeping a close eye on those transactions on the testnet as well as the mainnet over the coming weeks. Hopefully we do see some more information come out of atma.io, the Coupon Bureau, Phobi, etc. Some of those blue chip use cases that will seriously drive those transactions. However, from those screenshots we saw on the testnet, something big is clearly happening over on the testnet, and we may see that happen again in the future prior to a final launch. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy, leave a like, drop a comment if you got something to say. And until the next one, I'll catch you then. Cheers.